Good day, or should I say good week, as this has been such a grueling week thus far. A lot of new and high expectations of us. So I just wanted to take a moment to provide some tips that have been helpful to me, and I hope they can for you as well. All right, so here are my tips for using Google Classroom. Number one, I've been working on and still am on a website of tutorials of various tools that you could find helpful. So it's there if you have time to check it out. All right, click on the three dashes and remote learning is what you're looking at. There are different tools, Google Classroom, a number of tutorials. All right, so you can look at that. Step 2. Create your Google Classroom and share the codes. Right, so a few people have been not sure on how to share the code. So I'm quickly creating a class. I would say in your class name, always put your name, right? The teacher's name. That's going to take a little while to create. Now, we are going to get the code. There is a link that's produced as well, but honestly, the link does not always work. So it's best to provide the code. And here is the class code. Now, the code is going to be placed publicly on our website. So it's up to you to ensure that you have the correct students in your online class. All right, so the people are going to be populated here. Um, we are going to recommend, of course, that students have their actual name when they're trying to join the class. And you can remove anyone you are not sure about. Step 3. Only have a welcome message posted in the Stream tab and maybe an orientation activity when they first enter. Now, in the Google Classroom, it is empty currently, right? We just created it. It is empty. There are no posts. You'll notice there's a Stream tab and there's a Classwork tab. The first time the students come into the Google Classwork, you should only have 2 posts. A welcome post, which I'm going to do now. Right? Post that. And you can, this is an optional one, of course. You can have some kind of orientation or introductory activity with them. And you could have the instructions there. So I only have 2 posts, my welcome and my activity. Your online classroom should not be populated with a lot of content. Think back to the flood of information given at department meeting. You were bombarded with information and it can be overwhelming. So the same thing when they come into your Google Classroom, remember it's not only yours, you should not bombard them with a lot of work. So it should be very streamlined. Step 4. As time goes along, post in the Stream tab any message to students such as reminders of the lessons and activity lesson details. So those are different types of posts that I will create in my stream. I can say live class on date at time. So that's a reminder for them. If I have an asynchronous class, this activity must be completed and submitted by date and time. Okay, now let's say you had a live class. You can actually come back to this post and edit it and include the information about the live class. Content, today we looked at whatever, homework is this, and save, and that announcement will be updated. So I don't have to post two different things on the same class or about the same class. I can just edit the same post so that all the information is there in one, so there's not a lot of clutter. Step 5. Post in the Classwork tab to organize your work. Have the link to your live session, have content and assignments detailed here. You can further organize by topics. All right. So in your Google Classroom, there was Stream. That's what we use so far. There's a Classwork tab. Now the Classwork tab allows you to organize your work. You can have different headings called topics, and you can put content or assignments. Topic example. All right. Okay, so we have two topics here. So under each topic, I could put an assignment. And I can put that assignment under one of my topics and assign. Okay, and you see the assignment under that topic. Now, I like to have, so you can organize your work like this. Different topics you've taught, or you could organize by different classes. It's up to you how you organize the Classwork tab. I also like to have a heading called assignment due, or maybe homework, and I put all assignments here, and I can, after the assignment has passed, I can always move it to another heading, another topic. Another thing I will create is, I'm going to use material here. I can put the link to the live classroom, live classes here, so that students always have access to that link to the live class, and they don't always have to be asking me. It's right there in the Google Classroom. So let me quickly create a new meeting using Google Meet, copy that link and add link, paste it in and post. And here to the top of my Classwork tab, I have a link to my live class, which students just have to click on. Number 6. Now, do not post anything in the Classwork tab until you are ready for students to see the work. Otherwise, you will be bombarding them with a lot of information at once. So I mentioned this already. Of course, you do want to plan your work though. And you want to be able to compile it in your Classwork tab to save yourself time. But you do not want it displayed so it doesn't overwhelm your students. Which brings me to the next point, next tip. Post your lesson as you go along. And you have the option to save your draft post for future lessons. So do not assign your post until you are ready for students to see it. Instead, schedule or save it as a draft. So let's try that out. I'm going to create some material, let's say, so it says content. Now, did you see this going saved? I can actually just X here And you'll notice that it's kind of grayed out. Students cannot see this. Only I can see the grayed out parts. Click on the three dots, edit. I can go back in and continue building. Continue adding work to it. And instructions. Keep building on it until I'm ready. It's saved again. I can exit. Still grayed out. Students will not see it until I press post. Only when I press post, you see the color change. It's not grayed out anymore. Now students can see it. There's another option. Let's say I use assignment. I can, instead of assign, there's an arrow next to it, I can schedule. So I can create my entire post, my content, my assignment. I can schedule when, right, there we go. I can schedule what date and what time for this post to appear. So that's another option. Number 8. Remember, you are required to produce a hard copy for the students who do not have access to ensure the information is consistent to what you're teaching online. One option would be to have a prepared handout that can be posted at the end of the live class and can double as a printed package to be sent for the students. Another option could be to use a Word document like I'm using here during your live class. The Word document will act as your blackboard, your whiteboard, and you'll be able to save anything you typed on that Word document and post it to the Google Classroom. You'll also be able to send that same Word document to be printed. Almost done. Number 9. You can refer to supplemental work available on a website, a Google Doc, etc. The content does not have to be created by you alone. The content does not have to all be typed in Google Classroom. You can refer to other sources. And our last tip, use automatically marked assignment tools where possible, such as a Google form, Edpuzzle, quizzes, etc. There's a lot out there. Alright, so I hope this is helpful. Let me know.